We are in Canmore, Alberta, one of the most beautiful spots in the province. We're going to talk about the lifestyle of Canmore and whether it's realistic for you to actually live here. Well, you know, when it comes to lifestyle, there's not enough time on this video for me to talk about everything that Canmore offers. So we're going to highlight some of the most common things that you would be looking at for lifestyle. Now, we have mountain climbing. We have the most amazing hikes that you'll ever find. You can go on a new hike every day for a year and not see the same thing twice. We have mountain biking. You can do the most amazing bike rides here, road biking. When it comes to just even the town itself, what about just coming out and enjoying some of the restaurants and just hanging out at some of the patios, taking in the views? Never gets old. And we have some of the most amazing chefs here. You know, one of the nice things about Canmore is that because people really do want to live here, because the lifestyle is amazing, you'll get some really good professional people, and that's really important as part of the lifestyle. So the town itself, just in the town, you can just spend your time walking around the town as well. Kayaking. We have some of the best kayaking on the Kananaskis River is in our back door. We've got paddle boarding, you know, right up at Quarry Lake. A lot of people don't know this, by the way, but we actually have a lake in Canmore for swimming and paddle boarding, and up by the Nordic Center. Now, mentioning the Nordic Center, this is really what put Canmore on the map. When we had the 1988 Olympics and they put the Nordic Center in and put in the cross-country skiing, that really got a lot of attention for the town of Canmore. So that's an absolutely amazing place to go, because cross-country skiing in this town, big deal. Mountain biking at the Nordic Center, also a really big deal. Then of course, there's just the golfing. Oh man, we got some of the most amazing golf courses here. Who doesn't want to golf looking at mountains? Right here, this is my happy place. I've owned a property in Canmore since 2007, so I get the benefit of being here a lot. I've participated in this lifestyle. This golf course and this restaurant up at Silvertip is absolutely amazing. The food here is phenomenal. Look at the view behind me. You get to look out over the golf course. Such an amazing patio. This is part of the lifestyle. And by the way, Silvertip is also a real estate development. So you can actually own property right around the corner of this golf course and take all of this in as the lifestyle. Now, it does come with a cost though. This restaurant, a lot of people don't know about it, by the way, even though when people come to visit Canmore, some of the tourists have no idea it's here. But this is an expensive restaurant. Like if you go into the Rustica Seafood and Steakhouse, you can expect to be paying around $60, $70 for a good steak dinner per person. So you have to be prepared for that. They do have the bar side, so you can get into the bar side and get into more, anywhere from $25 to $30 for an entree, which is pretty reasonable when you get from that standpoint, considering the beautiful view. You can actually see bears regularly on this golf course, so it's pretty phenomenal. And of course, if you are a golfer, this is definitely a bucket list golf course. So the cool thing about Canmore is the homes are built right in with the lifestyle. You know, we're standing on a path right here and looking over at a map that actually takes you into a whole bunch of beautiful hikes or biking trails right in the midst of this housing development, which is Silvertip, and the most prestigious housing development in Canmore. So you can see that if you own a piece of real estate here, the moment you move in, the lifestyle just comes right with it, right out your front door. All right, well, we're standing at one of my favorite spots in Canmore. Right after we finish our mountain biking ride, you get this amazing view of the town, overlooking the Bow River. Just finishing our bike ride up at the Nordic Center, because we just love riding the EKG at the Nordic Center. It's so much fun. This is the lifestyle. This is the money shot right behind me, but this is what Canmore is all about. It's about lifestyle. It's about living here and doing all the fun things that you really enjoy that the mountains offer. One of the other things I love about Canmore is they did build this city for families, and there's things you have to have for families. And right behind me is Elevation Place. Place is amazing. We got a full Olympic-sized swimming pool, water slides, workout facility, the all-important climbing wall. We got a library in there, cafeteria. For the indoor type of activities, the year-round activities, this is the place to be, and families love it. People have actually lived in the Bow Valley for 8,000 years. Can you believe it? They've actually found some of Canada's oldest archaeological sites that have been dug up here right in the Bow Valley. Pretty interesting. Bow Valley was pretty well established in 1883 as a mining town. They coal mined in this town all the way up till 1979, I do believe. Little history about Hall Ing. There was a Chinese cook. He was working at the Canmore Hotel, and he bet people $50 that he could climb up and back within 10 hours. And nobody believed him. So he got up in the morning, hiked up, came back, and he was done by noon. And they were like, there's no way you hiked up and got back here. He says, well, don't believe me? I'll show you right now, come with me. So he literally hiked up again, took some people, and of course proved that he could do it. So he ended up hiking up twice in the same day. So it was fitting they called him Chinaman's Peak. And that name ended up being changed to Hall Ing, which happens to be the name of the Chinese cook that actually did it. You know, 2002, I came to Canmore and I fell in love with the town, and I made a decision then and there that I really wanted to own a piece of property here. And I remember even at the time looking at the real estate prices then and thought, wow, it's actually expensive. And it took me until 2008 before I actually bought a property here, and I've never regretted it. But it's always been fairly expensive to live and own a property in this town. And it's pretty simple why. Because people will pay a good amount of money to be here to take in what Canmore offers. So you should know this. We're one of the most expensive places in all of Canada to own real estate. And things like food and lodging, it just is expensive. You know, I even look at the prices at Safeway and Save On Foods. They're slightly higher than Calgary. It's just how it is. And I understand it. Things all have to be shipped in here. The cost of living is so high. The people who work here, they have to have a place to live. So their cost of living is higher. So they have to be able to make a little bit more money from their employers. So that's just all part of this experience of being in Canmore. You have to be willing to accept that. The economic environment here, well, obviously it's mostly the hospitality and the restaurant industry, but there are professional industries here too. We have lawyers, we have doctors, you know, we have naturopaths and dentists and a whole host of chiropractors, you know, so we have all of those professional individuals that are here. And don't forget, we have a hospital here, which is a really big deal. I'm like very grateful that we have a hospital here. There's been a couple of times I've had to use it, and especially for the people who end up, you know, breaking something in at Sunshine when they're skiing, they need to get to a hospital quick. So that's a pretty important part of our town. Now, there's a lot of people that obviously would like to just have a property that they could either move into here and live full time, and that's available. There's a tremendous amount of people that also are looking for a property that they could use, you know, maybe on weekends or come pretty regularly, but they'd like to rent it out when they're not here. We do have short-term rentals, but the town has some really strict rules on where you can do it. So we have zoning bylaws here. We have tourist zone, we have visitor zone, and you have to be in one of those zones in order to do short-term rentals. Now, I've helped a lot of people do this, and it's a great way of owning real estate in this town. I really like that area around Spring Creek and areas that are close to downtown. That's primarily where most of these short-term rentals are. And it can be a very, very good investment. They, depending on how much you use the property, you can actually have a pretty good rate of return for that. I also have a lot of knowledge around the management of this. We actually have a division to our brokerage that manages some of these properties. So if you definitely have questions about short-term rentals, feel free to send me a text and reach out to me. I got all of the information for you, but it's a fantastic way of getting into the market, especially if you can't be here full time. When it comes to luxury, it's phenomenal, the kind of luxury properties that you can find in Canmore in various different locations around Canmore. Just look at these homes behind me. This is what I would call pure luxury for Canmore. And it's not always about the size of the home, it's about where the home is situated and what the home offers. The views that this particular street has, every home on this street it is the $10 million view, if I can call it that. But you'll notice that all these luxury homes are built with a beautiful architecture that fits right into the theme of Canmore in the mountains. And if you are that kind of a person that is interested in luxury and you want to have the lifestyle that goes with it, believe me, there is so many options for you in Canmore. You know, every real estate market has a price point where it's considered luxury. You know, like for example, Edmonton luxury would be around 800,000. Calgary luxury is around, you know, $1 million, $1.1 million. At Canmore, luxury doesn't really start until you hit about 2 million, maybe even 2.2 million in this town. So when you talk about luxury, we have a lot of properties in this town that are hitting $5 million. So we have a pretty high-end luxury market. Canmore is the most expensive place to own real estate in all of Alberta.
I'm just going to wrap up this video by saying this. Canmore really is for everybody in Alberta. It's the most sought after location next to Banff for the whole province of Alberta, and maybe even for Canada when it comes to tourist destinations. We have a lot of people that own real estate here from Edmonton, Red Deer, Calgary especially. But this is a town where you can come in for the day. You know, even if you're in Edmonton, I've seen people do that too. They'll drive in for the day and drive home. Definitely for people in Calgary that can come in and drive back out again. So it's a special place. The mountains, you know, I think they give us a lot of energy. I think they, you know, it's a place for families. It's a place that you can just enjoy and really, you know, get the energy that the mountains offer you. So I can tell you, when it comes to Canmore, being here all these years, there really isn't much I don't know. And when it comes to being able to give you information on any aspect of the town, you know, give me your comments, send me your questions. I'll be able to help you out because I usually have lots of questions when I do videos on Canmore. So if this has been really helpful, you know, go ahead. Of course, you know, everyone asks you these days to like their channel and subscribe, but I'm going to ask you the same thing because I do provide some really good information on these channels that I run on all kinds of information, real estate and lifestyle related to Canmore all the way to Calgary.